Listen carefully. Something is about to happen in your life that you did not plan. Somewhere, right now, a meeting is being arranged. Not by man, not by chance, not by coincidence. A meeting that heaven itself has been preparing for years, and you were not told the date. God is saying, prepare yourself. They are coming without warning. You feel it, don't you? That strange stirring in your spirit, that restlessness at midnight, that sense that your life is about to shift but you don't know how, when, or through whom. That is not anxiety, that is not fear, that is discernment. That is the Holy Spirit whispering to the deepest part of your soul, get ready, someone is coming, something is coming, and it will change everything. For months, maybe years, you have been in a season of silence. You prayed and heaven seemed quiet. You cried out and the sky gave no answer. You wondered if God had forgotten your name, if your prayers were falling into an empty void, if the promises spoken over your life were nothing more than beautiful lies you told yourself to survive the pain. Hear this clearly. God never forgot you. He was never asleep. He was never distant. He was preparing a meeting. While you were breaking, he was building. While you were weeping in the dark, he was assembling the very people, the very opportunities, the very doors that would walk into your life and rearrange your destiny forever. And the terrifying, beautiful truth is this: they are coming without warning. No angel will announce it. No trumpet will sound before it happens. There will be no countdown, no calendar reminder, no 5-minute warning. One ordinary day, in an ordinary moment, when you least expect it, heaven will open a door. And everything you suffered for will finally make sense. This is your sign. This message found you today because you are chosen. Not chosen to live an easy life. Not chosen to be understood by everyone around you. Chosen to carry something sacred. A purpose so heavy that God had to isolate you first, break you first, silence the noise around you first. So that when the meeting comes, you would be ready to receive it. Stay with me. Because what I am about to tell you will shift something inside your spirit forever. There is a divine appointment written in heaven with your name attached to it. A meeting between you and someone or something that will unlock the very thing you have been praying for. It could be a person. It could be an opportunity. It could be a breakthrough disguised as an ordinary conversation. But make no mistake, it is coming, and it is coming soon. The question is not whether the meeting will happen. The question is, will you be ready when it does? Because here is the painful truth that nobody tells the chosen ones. Preparation always comes before the meeting. Always. God does not send elevation to a person who has not yet been prepared to carry it. He does not hand a crown to someone still living like a servant to their fear. He does not release the miracle until the vessel has been shaped to hold it. That is why your life has felt like a furnace. That is why you have been stretched, tested, isolated, and refined. That is why the people who used to surround you have grown distant, quiet, cold. It was never rejection. It was preparation. God was clearing the room because he knew who was about to walk in. Listen carefully. This is your moment. This is your warning. This is your invitation to rise. The meeting is coming. Prepare yourself, because they are coming without warning. Let me take you deeper. Let me show you what this really means and why your entire life has been leading to this exact moment. There is a pattern throughout the scriptures, a sacred rhythm that every chosen one must walk through. Before the miracle, there is a wilderness. Before the promotion, there is a pit. Before the throne, there is a prison. Before the meeting that changes everything, there is a season of quiet preparation that feels like abandonment, but is actually assignment. Think about the ones who came before you. Think about the shepherd boy who was overlooked by his own family, forgotten in the fields while his brothers stood before the prophet, waiting to be chosen. Nobody called his name. Nobody thought to include him. He was outside, alone, tending sheep in obscurity while destiny was being decided without him in the room. But heaven doesn't forget the forgotten ones. Someone said, "Is there not another?" And in that moment, the boy in the field became the king on the throne. The meeting came without warning. One day he was invisible. The next day oil was poured on his head, and everything changed forever. That is you. You have felt overlooked. You have watched others get chosen, promoted, celebrated, while you remained in the field, invisible, forgotten, wondering if your turn would ever come. Hear this clearly. Your turn is coming. And it will come without warning. Think about the dreamer who was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. For years it looked like his life was over. For years it looked like his dreams had died in that prison cell. But God was orchestrating a meeting behind the scenes that no one could see. While he was forgotten in the dungeon, a king was having a dream that only he could interpret. While he sat in chains, a throne was being prepared for him in a palace he had never seen. And one day, without warning, they came for him. They pulled him from the pit. They shaved him, dressed him, and brought him before the king. In a single day, the prisoner became the prime minister. That is the pattern of the chosen ones. The pit is never the end. The prison is never the final chapter. The betrayal, the abandonment, the years of silence, they are not proof that God has forgotten you. They are proof that He is preparing something so great, it required years to build. Hear this clearly. God is saying, I did not forget you in the pit. I was preparing the palace. Let this truth settle into your spirit. Every tear you cried in secret, God saw it. Every night you prayed and heard nothing back, He was listening. Every time you felt too tired to keep believing, He was still writing your story, still preparing the meeting, still assembling the very people and doors that would arrive without warning to change your life forever. But listen carefully. Not everyone survives the waiting. This is the part nobody wants to talk about. Many people who were chosen never made it to the meeting because they gave up in the waiting room. They grew bitter in the silence. They let the betrayal turn them cold. They let the loneliness convince them that God had abandoned them, and so when the door finally opened, they were no longer standing there to walk through it. Do not let that be your story. The enemy knows what is coming for you. He knows a meeting has been scheduled in the spirit realm that will elevate you beyond anything you imagined. And because he knows, he will fight to keep you distracted, discouraged, and disqualified before that moment arrives. This is why your life has felt like a battlefield lately. This is why sleep has been difficult, why your mind has been under attack, why small irritations feel unbearable and old wounds keep resurfacing. This is spiritual warfare. The closer you get to your appointed meeting, the harder the resistance becomes. Understand this. The enemy does not waste his best weapons on someone who is not a threat to his kingdom. He does not send confusion, fatigue, isolation, and heartbreak to someone who is not carrying something powerful. If you are under attack right now, that is not a sign that you are losing. That is a sign that heaven has marked you as dangerous to darkness. Hear this clearly. The intensity of your battle is proof of the size of your calling. God is saying, I let you feel the weight of this season because I needed to strengthen what I am about to release through you. He is not punishing you. He is preparing you. Every trial was a training ground. Every heartbreak was a hardening of your spirit for what is coming. Every person who left, every door that closed, every dream that seemed to die, it was never the end of your story. It was the removal of everything that could not survive the meeting. Because here is a truth you must understand. Not everyone in your life right now is meant to walk with you into what is coming. God is quietly, gently, and sometimes painfully removing people from your circle. Friends who no longer call. Family who no longer understand you. People who used to be close, now distant, now cold, now gone. It hurts. It feels like rejection. But it is not rejection. It is preparation. Some people were only assigned to walk with you through the wilderness. They were never meant to sit with you at the table that is being prepared. God is not being cruel by removing them. He is protecting the sacred meeting that is about to take place because some relationships would poison the very blessing He is preparing to release. Hear this clearly. If someone walked away from you recently, do not chase them. Let them go. Their absence is not your punishment. It is your protection. You were never meant to walk into your destiny surrounded by people who never believed in your dream. You were never meant to sit at the table of your breakthrough with people who mocked your faith in the waiting room. God is clearing the room, one person at a time, so that when the meeting comes, only the ones who are truly assigned to your purpose will be standing beside you. This is the loneliness of the chosen ones. It is real, it is painful, and it is necessary. But listen carefully. Loneliness is not the same as abandonment. You may feel alone right now, but you are not alone. Heaven is with you. Angels are assigned to you. The very silence you feel is not empty, it is sacred. It is the sound of a father working behind the curtain, arranging every detail of a meeting that will leave you speechless when it finally arrives. Faith during silence is the hardest faith of all. It is easy to praise God when the answer has already come. It is easy to trust Him when the blessing is already in your hand. But can you trust Him in the waiting? Can you believe Him when the sky is silent? When the phone doesn't ring, when the door stays closed, when nothing around you looks like it's changing. That is the faith that moves heaven. That is the faith that God is testing in you right now. Hear this clearly. God is saying, I am not silent because I have forgotten you. I am silent because I am working on something too sacred to explain to you yet. Some things cannot be spoken. They can only be revealed when the timing is right. And your timing, your divine, appointed, unshakable timing is closer than you think. Watch for the signs. God has been speaking to you in ways you may have missed. Dreams that felt too real to be ordinary. A verse that seemed to jump off the page and speak directly to your situation. A stranger's words that pierced your heart like they were sent from heaven itself. A sudden peace in the middle of your storm that made no logical sense. These are not coincidences. These are signs. God has been preparing you, speaking to you, confirming to you that the meeting is near. Hear this clearly. Pay attention. Do not dismiss what your spirit already knows to be true. Something is shifting. Something is coming. And you were chosen to recognize it when it arrives. This is the first keynote of tonight's message, and I want you to sit with it. I want you to let it settle into the deepest part of your heart. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not disqualified because of your past, your pain, or your loneliness. You are being prepared right now, in this very season, for a meeting that heaven has already scheduled. They are coming without warning. Stay ready, stay faithful, stay standing. Because what I am about to tell you next will show you exactly what happens when that meeting finally arrives, and why the transformation waiting for you on the other side of this season will be greater than anything you have ever imagined. Let us go deeper. Hear this clearly. The meeting is not just an event. It is a divine collision between everything you have suffered and everything you were destined to become. When the appointed moment finally arrives, it will not look like what you expected. That is important to understand. God rarely announces his movements the way we imagine. He does not send a letter in advance. He does not give you a countdown. Most of the time, the greatest turning points in a chosen one's life happen in the middle of an ordinary day, dressed in ordinary clothes, disguised as an ordinary conversation. That is why you must stay awake. That is why you must stay ready. Because the very meeting that will change the trajectory of your entire life may arrive wearing the disguise of an unexpected phone call, a chance encounter, a door you almost walked past, a person you almost ignored. God is saying, I will not always announce myself the way you expect. But when you meet the one, the opportunity, the moment I have prepared, you will know. Your spirit will recognize what your mind cannot explain. This is why discernment matters more than ever right now. This is why you must guard your heart, sharpen your spirit, and stay close to him in prayer, because the enemy also knows a meeting is coming, and he will try to send counterfeits before the real one arrives. False doors, false opportunities, false people who look like blessings but carry the fingerprints of destruction. Do not be so desperate for elevation that you mistake a counterfeit for the real assignment. Hear this clearly. Everything that glitters is not gold, and everyone who smiles is not sent by heaven. This is why the season of isolation was necessary. It was not just to break you. It was to sharpen your discernment so that when the real meeting comes, you will recognize it instantly, without confusion, without hesitation, without the noise of people who do not understand your calling clouding your judgment. Think about the isolation you have walked through. Think about the nights you cried alone, wondering why no one understood you, why even the people closest to you seemed to misread your heart, misjudge your dreams, misunderstand your silence. That isolation felt like punishment, but it was actually a classroom. God was teaching you to hear his voice above every other voice. He was teaching you to trust his timing above every other timeline. He was teaching you to stand, even when no one was standing with you. That kind of strength cannot be taught in comfort. It can only be forged in fire. Hear this clearly. The fire you walked through was not designed to destroy you. It was designed to remove everything false, everything fragile, everything fake, until only the true version of you remained, the version strong enough to carry what is coming. Now let me speak to the wounds you are still carrying, because I know they are real. I know the betrayal cut deep. I know there are people who claim to love you but left when you needed them most. I know there are doors that slammed shut right when you thought they were finally opening. I know there are dreams that felt like they died, prayers that felt unanswered, promises that felt broken. God is saying, I saw every tear. I counted every sleepless night. I was there in every moment you thought I had left you alone. The betrayal you experienced was not a mistake. It was a divine filtering system. Some people had to walk away from you before the meeting could happen, because they were never meant to witness what God is about to do in your life. Judas walked with Jesus for 3 years, but he was never meant to see the resurrection. Some people are only assigned to your wilderness season. When the season ends, so does their role in your story. Do not mourn the people who left. Mourn if you must, grieve if you need to, but do not let their absence convince you that you are unworthy of love, unworthy of loyalty, unworthy of the meeting that is coming. Their leaving was not a reflection of your value. It was a reflection of their assignment coming to an end. Hear this clearly. God is saying, I removed them so that I could position the right ones. I allowed the betrayal so that I could protect the blessing. This is the mystery of divine timing. What looked like loss was actually preservation. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. And what looks like silence right now is actually the sound of heaven preparing the greatest chapter of your life. Let me tell you what happens after the meeting. When the appointed moment finally arrives, when the person, the opportunity, the breakthrough that heaven has been preparing finally walks into your life. You will look back at every painful season and understand, for the first time, why it had to happen exactly the way it did. You will realize that the friend who betrayed you was removed so that the right people could find you. You will realize that the job that fell apart was closed so that the right opportunity could open. You will realize that the heartbreak that shattered you was allowed so that you would develop the strength to carry the very blessing that was coming. This is transformation before elevation. God never elevates a person before he transforms them, because elevation without transformation leads to destruction. He loves you too much to give you the meeting before you are ready to carry its weight. That is why the wait felt so long. That is why the preparation felt so painful. He was not punishing you. He was protecting your future. Hear this clearly. God is saying, I did not delay your blessing to hurt you. I delayed it to perfect you. And now, the season of preparation is coming to an end. You feel it, don't you? That shift in the atmosphere. That strange, undeniable sense that something is about to change. That restlessness that will not let you settle into complacency. That is not confusion. That is confirmation. Your spirit is sensing what your eyes cannot yet see. The meeting is near. This is your moment to rise. This is your moment to stop shrinking, stop hiding, stop apologizing for the calling on your life. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to blend in with people who do not understand the weight you carry. You are different because you were built for something different. You are misunderstood because your assignment was never meant to make sense to ordinary eyes. Hear this clearly. You are not weird. You are not too much. You are not broken beyond repair. You are chosen. And the chosen ones were never meant to look like everyone else. Stand up straighter today. Walk a little taller today. Because the very thing you have been praying for, crying for, waiting for, is closer than it has ever been. God is finishing the final details of a meeting that will leave you in awe of His faithfulness. Do not grow weary now. Do not quit in the final stretch. So many people who were destined for greatness gave up moments before their miracle arrived because they could not see how close they truly were. Do not let that be you. The finish line is closer than your tired heart can perceive. Hear this clearly. God is saying, hold on a little longer. I am not finished. The best is still coming. Let every wound you carry become a testimony instead of a tragedy. Let every betrayal become proof of God's protection instead of proof of your unworthiness. Let every lonely night become a memory of how far He carried you, rather than a scar that defines you. You were chosen before the foundation of the world for this exact moment, this exact season, this exact assignment. Nothing you have walked through was wasted. Every tear watered a seed that is about to bloom into something so beautiful it will silence every person who ever doubted you. The meeting is coming. Prepare your heart, prepare your spirit, prepare your faith, because they are coming without warning, and when they arrive, your life will never be the same again. This is your sign, this is your season, this is your breakthrough. Now hear this final word, and let it settle deep into your spirit. You were never forgotten. You were never abandoned. You were never too broken, too late, or too far gone. Every single thing you walked through was preparing you for this exact moment, the moment you are standing in right now, reading these words, feeling this truth rise up inside you like fire. God is saying, I see you. I have always seen you. And I am not finished with you yet. The meeting is coming. It will not send a warning. It will not knock twice. It will arrive exactly when heaven has appointed it. And when it does, everything you suffered for will finally make sense. So stand ready. Stay faithful. Keep believing even in the silence. Keep trusting even when it doesn't make sense. Keep walking even when you cannot see the road ahead. Because the breakthrough you have been praying for is no longer a distant hope. It is a scheduled appointment. and you are about to walk into the very room where your destiny has been waiting for you all along. If this message touched something deep inside you, if you felt your spirit rise as you read these words, if you know without a doubt that you were chosen for something greater than what you are currently walking through, comment the word "chosen" right now. Let heaven and everyone watching know that you receive this word over your life. Strengthen your faith today. Talk to God like He is listening, because He is. Trust His timing, even when it feels slow, because His timing has never once failed the ones who trusted Him. And if this word spoke to your spirit, subscribe so you never miss the next message God has for you, because this is not the end of what He wants to say to you. This is only the beginning. The meeting is coming. Prepare yourself. They're coming without warning.